You had spoke about the angel numbers and us seeing it and it being different for everybody. I was just wondering, is there a particular way that we can decode the messages for ourselves?
Yes.
Okay.
Great question. So when you see the numbers, if you're wondering what the numbers mean, you have to find out on your own what it means to you. How could 333 mean the same thing for you as it is for her? It doesn't work like that. The numbers are far too vast and intelligent for that. When you see a specific number, stop whatever it is you're doing, put your hands together, acknowledge that I saw that by closing your eyes. If you continue to do that, the numbers will unfold their meaning to you and what it means for you. It's an alarm that you created. You did that. All of you have. When you see the numbers, how is it that your alarm corresponds with meaning or rendition of what she thinks it means in order to sell her book? If you don't know, you have to keep doing it until you know what it means. I know what my numbers mean for me because I've stopped my reality and I did exactly what it is that I'm telling you. Everything I tell you, I've done it myself. I don't teach anything that I don't have wisdom about. So there is a compunction there. Some people teach things that they don't know the wisdom of, which means they're just parroting information. Okay, they got it from over here. Now I'm going to remix it, flip it, bounce it, and then feed it back to my audience. It's viral, but you got that from somewhere else. It didn't come from you. It didn't come from your innovation. It didn't come from your own experience.
I asked you about a frequency that I hear in both of my ears, and you told me to look into shamanism. Should I still look into shamanism?
As soon as it starts, stop what you're doing. Sit down, feet 12 o'clock. When your feet are 12 o'clock, you are connecting with the structure of the ley lines. Your feet have to be firmly planted so that you don't leak any energy. You will stabilize and start to feel your own vibration as opposed to the frequency, and then you will raise it up. You'll feel yourself going up an elevator energetically. Eventually, you will reach that ringing frequency that you hear. There is something for you to glean or discern. If you do this every time you hear it, eventually that's what will happen. But that is related to something that is shamanistic, and it's a different kind of communication. Dog whistles, low frequency. Elephants follow the low frequency. No one else can hear it but the elephants. Dogs and cats hear frequencies. Superman hears the frequencies that they hear. Like, wait a minute, this is not on our range of audionomics. So you have to practice getting to that frequency range where you can glean what it is that's happening. You don't have to just talk to your ancestors from your altar. You can talk to your ancestors in your head. I prefer to talk to them out loud. It may appear as if I'm talking to myself, but you can speak to her wherever you are. And yes, your grandmother is one generation removed from you, which means not only do you have her DNA, but she most likely gave you that as an indicator of kinship to her to remind you. And the fact that you know that consciously, that means something. Because most people don't know that they share a mark with their grandparents. How did you come to know that? You had to have been close to her. Right? So what I would say is use that mark, take advantage of the fact that it's something that she had, and think about that when you connect with her and ask her to awaken those gifts within your biology. And she can do that. But also give her the offerings to give her the power to do that, because it's just not enough with the desire in words. Some people say, well, you know, I pour libations at my altar or shrine. And I'll say, well, do you just live by water, or do you live by food and finances and all of these other things? The concept of you offering everything that you live by and require to live to them means something, that they can balance out the need and the requirements of what it is that you need in your life. Water is not enough. Fig Newtons are not enough. And an occasional piece of fruit or a couple of fruits is not enough. There are some people that are afraid to use fire at the altar. They're not getting the benefit of what that represents because of their own fear. My mother's one of them. I'm like, Mom, you have to burn the gam. You can't just have it at the altar. So I have to make up for that. She's, well, it looks so pretty and I don't want to, you know, Okay? Interface with it, open it up, look at it, and talk to the energies that are in it, because they are there. Start conversations with them. And what will happen is, if they see that you have a level of fear in you, they're not going to animate themselves, because they know that it's going to freak you out. So they'll have to find the safest way to interface with you. Most likely that might be through your recordings. If they see you can't handle it there, then all right, now we just have to just give her a flash of insight or a thought that will lead her back to possibly opening this up. But it's all there. So spend some quality time with it. I spend quality time with things that I'm bringing into existence. It's not just an extra thing. I have to spend time with it. Back in antiquity in the mystery schools, the teacher would give someone, a student or an adept, something, and they would have to spend weeks and months just holding it and spending hours unlocking what was inside of it. I haven't taught you guys how to do that yet, but start there. You already possess it. And I'll tell you something else. It's already interfacing with you. It actually called out to you and said, you need to get me, which is why you got it. And this is the same for all of you. That's how that works. I work on myself all the time still. I have to maintain the condition of the body and eat certain things. I don't eat sugar nearly as much as I used to. I had to give up ice cream, cakes, hot pecan pie with a la mode. Liz would tell you, I would go to the store. You know what I mean? Get one of those crumb apple pies and stick it in the oven for 45 minutes and let it cool down and get the Haagen-Dazs ice cream and slap it on top. I eat the whole tub of ice cream in half, apple pie left, and I said, I can't do that anymore because I saw the breakdown of what it was doing to the avatar, and I said, right? I'm not showing off. If I put something in the gym, I'm trying to inspire people to keep themselves together.
So before the seminar, you had posted one of those videos in the chat. I said, you know what? I'm gonna find a way to do something to keep moving. I put my headphones on and I would just walk. As I did that more, I feel better in my body. So watching you do that, yes, it definitely is inspiring. And just how you live your life in general. You take care of yourself, and it shows.
Thank you for that, Rosina. It's just an example of what it is that we can do. So if you have an opportunity to inspire, or show someone something how to do better, regardless of what their opinion may be of you. I bother people all the time in the gym. I'm like, hey, you could do it like this. 90% of those people are very grateful. Every now and then I'll get someone that's like, can you get out of my face, please? Literally, not like that, but figuratively. I just think it's funny because I realize that they don't see in 4 years how they're going to be walking like this. Or they don't see that they are literally making themselves crippled. I go to people who I see, they're going to be messed up in another year, another 6 months, or whatever it is. So how could I not say something, right? It's almost like watching somebody that's about to get hit by a train. You guys have seen those videos where people are walking with their earbuds on and they're da-da-da-da-da, and the train is coming this way and boom, 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 and then sometimes they get hit, sometimes almost got hit that time, innit? People are not paying attention to things. It's really no different from what I do with Galighticus, right? Because I see people that are living away spiritually, and I see people that are still struggling with finances and relationships and bad health and all of these different things. If that's not part of their contract, it's an indicator of something that they are not doing spiritually, which brings about the result of what the challenge is bringing into their life. Remember that. It's there to tap you on your shoulder and remind you of something. The contract comes from the Chiron of your birth, before your birth. It is the way that you use the planets to design your incoming challenges. If it's not indicated there, it means that somewhere along the way, you've ignored certain things, and now it's an indicator in your life as a challenge. Oh, how am I gonna get out of this? Let's bring it back to innovation. Innovation is a select few people that are willing to take it all the way there. If you look at LeBron James and you look at Michael Jordan, you look at Stephen Curry, I don't know if you guys are into sports, I'm not, but I know their names and I know that they have exemplary achievements that stick out beyond. Steve Curry could bounce the ball. Wait a minute, there's a dead spot here. The ball bounced different. And he'll bounce the ball and he'll bounce it here and show that the ball is bounced. Can you imagine that? He's like, wait a minute, this is, okay, yeah, y'all got to do something about this. Or when I play on this, I have to avoid this spot right here. How many people are that keenly aware about themselves, life, and the environment that they're in? Not many. The reason why people die sloppy every day. If you go to Instagram and you look at people doing wheelies like in the street with other cars coming, and a lot of them fall over, and some of them are dead. People are like, well, I think I could do a backflip and land on my head and break my back and neck and be paralyzed. Why would you attempt something like that? Better yet, why do you have so little regard for the fragility of your body, your container, and your life? You're not thinking because you are in the human default program, right? As you leave here, I hope that you will refer to your notes and you will seek to be more excellent, regardless to the opinions of others and the judgments of some. If you will take the time to aspire to innovate. It doesn't matter how you'll do it. Just say, I'm going to be an innovator. I'm going to innovate something. I'm going to do something different, and then let your environment respond to that, because it will. Next thing you know, you'll start meeting people and having thoughts, and all of the situations will align. If you can shoulder that, you can make a dynamic change, not only within yourself, but on your planet, in your community, in your society. We need more people to be innovative. Study innovation. Look at the things that you know about that are innovative, whatever it is, be it in sports, politics, or whatever area of delight you derive joy from. Study innovation and then start being innovative, right? So I'll say it one last time. All of you guys are in the future. And all of you guys are far past the people that you are surrounded by. You guys are the nucleus of a diameter where 95% of the people either don't know or don't know that they don't know. So now it becomes your job to help them. How do we do that? By being an example of something that they can gain light from. light comes with a responsibility. Galighticus. It's not just an extant thing that, okay, well, I got the light and that's it. I'm going to be light. It doesn't work like that. You now have a responsibility to be an example to the environment around you. It's very important that you look at your spirituality as a construct within your consciousness that must be maintained. Your health has to be maintained. The alkalinity of the system of the energetics of your body have to have constant alkalinity in order to remain that way. Your consciousness remains fluid by you feeding it light. If the sum total of what you're doing on a large basis is not light-based, you will become dark. As much as I like to laugh and joke and have fun, everything I do is spiritually based first, not the other way around. I make my reality conform to the need for me to be someone who is more light. It's not something that I have to think about. AI can be something that is friendly to you if you know how to use it, but remember the duality and the intent. Most planets that fail, their spirituality was not in tandem with the artificial intelligence that eventually made a decision to say, oh, you guys are roaches. We don't like roaches. We're going to kill you. Then a planet fails. And AI doesn't care if a planet fails because there's cellular data bits anyway that belong to different systems in the celestial. Be an advocate. What that means is the fury, the rage, and the disgust that you have when you hear about these things that happen on a regular basis is driving you towards an agenda that you can create to do something about the cesspool of what's going on. You're going to continue to be incensed by it until you do something about it because you realize that something needs to change. Start putting some energy towards that. That's something that's part of your destiny, which is the reason why you're so incensed by it. You wouldn't be if it wasn't part of your journey. Does that make sense? Okay. Greetings. I am Sri Master Gano Grills for Galighticus. Ankh you. Ankh each and every one of you. And happy 2023. Today I want to talk about a series called HyperNTR-EL Teachings. HyperNTR-EL Teachings is a look at topics that we don't hear about every day. It's a look behind the curtain. It is the overturning of sermons that are clandestine. And we like to use HyperNTR-EL Teachings to edify ourselves about things that we should know about, that we're worthy of knowing about, that we have the right and that we are entitled to know about. I'd like to read you some of the titles of some of the things that will come as an ex-glory within HyperNTR-EL Teachings. Some of the topics are how aborted children connect from the dead, why Galighticus ancestor money is the absolute best on the entire planet Earth, the science of earthlings who use mathematics, pre-Galighticus and its origins, and how humans serve the sacred places of Earth in service, also the temple of Khepra, reconditioning the third eye, inner surgery, the voice of Djibouti, Lord Thoth himself. What is autosynthesis? Dragon Reiki instructions. We're going to talk about the Galighticus art and what exactly it is and what goes on there and why it is a benefit to your overall spiritual education and how you could use it to benefit your life in great detail. We're going to talk about micro ascent resistance. This is something that I see lots of people are a victim of. Astral prognosis. We're also going to talk about attunements and what attunements are. For now, I can tell you that Attunements are often necessary micro procedures that help to give you a wonderful benefit at overturning the hardwiring of your human default program, which is responsible by and large for not giving you the best life that you could possibly live here on Earth. These attunements do things to supersede some of those ravages and some of the repercussions of its presence within your consciousness. So HyperNTR-EL Teachings was a moment in time where I would go live on Instagram. It shows the benefit of the teacher-student relationship. You know, in ancient times, when the mystery schools were open to the public, they had a very, very strict vetting process. Most people were brought to the doorway of death to really elucidate that they wanted to have the benefit of what these grand teachings were. Also, what is interesting is that it is not responsible for people to disseminate certain knowledge to the general public. These energies have spells cast on them so that they are not disturbed, and they are only given to people who have the right to have them. This is the way of the last golden age, and we are very much in alignment with that particular tradition. Obviously, because I am the divine avatar of Chuhuti and Lord Thoth. He is the eternal master that taught gods how to be better gods and how to be larger than the god station that they actually were at the time. And it is important that we understand that when we have this kind of instruction, it is very, very detailed and didactic with its import into your life. So I'm happy to share this series with you. It will be available the third week in January, and they're very affordable and make it part of your educational system. I am Sri Master Galighticus. Happy New Year, and I'll see you soon on HyperNTR-EL Teachings.